Hello everyone, this is Bethlehem Atfield. Welcome to the podcast Journey to Ethiopia with a Story. Sibhat's Beard by Adam Retta. Translated by Bethlehem Atfield. As Sebhat slowly awakens, his ears, which seem to have been plugged with cotton-like sleep, started to tune in. He thought about calling Thanos and asking her to close the door. Teret neighbourhood is like a demon-possessed skinny version of Mercado. There is practically almost nothing that doesn't get traded in this neighbourhood. Everyone seems out there trying to make a living. Sibhat thinks as he listens and tries to trace the direction from which the sounds were coming from.
Tends to tread.
Sounds like a young man with good voice. Maybe he rehearses like Dickens at a Sunday choir, eating fresh chili in the early mornings before even bakers get up to shit. What would Usher Undershaw, the protagonist in my story, say if he hears this tin vendor?
Leave the tin tread and try to escape death.
Cans to tread. This guy must be the tin trader's brother. Why don't they hold each other and trade together?
Armusialo. Bottles to tread.
This one must have been a soldier in his previous life. His voice is made for commanding. Why does he always come when I'm in bed? I haven't hired him to give me a wake-up call. Although I enjoy drinking, I don't care for the glass or the bottle. One is judged by what comes out of his mouth, not by what he consumes. Content is important. I know what happened to me when someone gave me an inferior Allah homebrewed beer in a beautiful gold-rimmed glass. We pay attention to the cleanliness of our clothes when we have something to hide. Maybe that is why there are no psychological novels in our country. Maybe the reason we don't want to laugh too much through novels is because we are afraid that our clothes will break at the seams and show the kind of wound that Teret neighbourhood bears. We are silently heading towards death. What a betrayal! What I want to see through the door when I wake up in the morning is not a stupid tin hawker shouting out his merchandise. I wish to see a calm, neat little girl being braided by a kind mother, an alluring exposed thigh of a woman, an uncensored laugh, one that is beyond the shadow of disapproval.
Scraps of rawhide for rope.
Tied up in rawhide, you and me, not by silk rope, mind you, for the one tied up with such is lucky, the one who's hiding his frowning face with a mask. Here you go, feel free to sell my skin. It's my wife who has wrapped my dreams in an umbilical cord so it can't be delivered, dragging it to its death. Go on selling scraps of rawhide, umbilical cord, and sisal ropes. It may enrich you, lad. Go on drinking Allah with a beautiful glass. It's obvious you won't get far. Let my annoying wife become yours. Without shouting out in public like you do, she who is inexpressible pulls me down to the abyss.
Prejudice. Mattress restorer.
When did I sleep on mine? Fleeing death like Usher Undershaw, I didn't get much chance to sleep. It has been ages since I slept with my wife. My mattress is still fresh. When I sleep face down on my pillow, all I smell is a trace of cigarettes and a lingering sob. It should have been a scent of lovemaking. Scent? My poor sweat evaporates everywhere, while my wife surges under her skin. The one who lived all these years and never got to restore his mattress is surely an unfortunate lad, a speechless curse. For a civil servant who lives in terraced neighbourhood spends his vacation in between his wife's legs. Where has Fanos gone?
Here is charcoal.
Why don't you roast something on it, like a sheep's kidneys? My flame has gone out. Today is Buhe, the feast of transfiguration. Buhe and a Friday. If I make Usher in the shop die on a Buhe feast, making him choke on bread made for the festival, Buhe, making a kind of bread bridge on which we cross a winter sea. Ha ha ha! Under my feet, the flood flows through the bridge. So, how do I bring Endeshau out of the mudslide into safety? What if he follows me and gets out? What if I love myself? How could Usher Endeshau, who outwitted someone like Gorit the Hobbit, find it difficult to cross August's flooding? What's that smell? Has he really started to roast something on the charcoal he's meant to sell? Ha 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 ha! Fish! Fresh fish! Didn't you catch a crocodile while you were fishing? We are struggling to think, let alone to fish. You're blessed. When I cast my masculine rod in the sea of women, who do I catch? Who? The stupid slut. When Westerners say love is blind, they should have added something else. Not only is love blind, but it is vicious. Why is his voice so harsh? Why doesn't he drink Allah after his meal? Why doesn't he partner with the charcoal vendor to barbecue the fish and eat it? The barley used to ferment that Allah can smooth the throat like sawdust. Rural people drink Allah often, which happens to clear their throats. Could that be why they speak with rhythm?
Luat! Luat! Alla luat!
Barter! Barter! Here to barter! Take my wife and give me my protagonist. Take her, the one who tries to stop me from reading and depress my mood. Take the one who trades sex and stifling my creativity, and give me a good pen instead. Why is your voice so shrill like a desert? It sounds like you have spent much time tending goats.
I find myself ranting in darkness, having lost my organ of sight.
That's also my fate. Usher Deshau is going to die on Buhe Day. It's hard to end the life of a character that has been refusing to die on the Feast of Transfiguration. From then on, it would be nothing but darkness for me. What if Fanos closes the door and comes to hug my pleasantly inflamed beard? What if I take off her bra and explore her breasts with my fingers? If I close my loving lips on her thick ones? A sulking woman, a woman preoccupied with her own beauty, an annoying woman. I'm blind to some things. Although the noise from outside is still coming into the house, Sebhat ignores it and starts to think of something else while stroking his beard. A sharp but bored-looking face is seen through the afro and beard that dominates his features. Looking out through the open door, he thinks he recognizes a song playing somewhere outside, but he can't tell what it was. He has never sung along to any Abisha song. Maybe the part of a snag cry. To the right of where he stands is a rickety old table with a couple of chairs. On the table are sheets of paper and 3 pencils that need sharpening. Isn't the task of a human to evade death like the Usher? The mortality of men scares him. He wants to ride along the Usher and come out alive at the other end. Although he wants to paint the Usher a tint of Sibhatness, the Usher is complete on his own and denies the author a ride along. He went to the table, picked up the pages, and started reading aloud. He feels his body relaxing and slipping into the usher's world. Like the cowards claim, fleeing is my life. The sight of Sebhat just then, with his sagging underwear, would make a hilarious material for a humorist. The crisp air coming from outside is making his beard move gently. When his feet feel the coldness of the cement floor, his mind feels like it's swelling up like a bump. He curses under his breath. Why don't I ever keep my pencils sharpened? But he doesn't want to do it now. What if the ideas filling up his mind overspill? He picks up a dull pencil and starts to scribble. When the usher stealthily picked out of the box, he sees Death at the other side, dressed in all black. Sebhat cleared his throat 3 times. He pays attention to what is rising inside him like a cloud. A hint of a smile is breaking out on his face, but his wild mustache and beard disguises it. When his writing spirit takes over him, he usually clears his throat 3 times. Why 3? Why not more or less? Then he puts his left hand through his beard, his slender fingers disappearing through the thicket, his beard moving in the direction the fingers moved. The massage makes his face warm. The scent of the local brew he's been drinking since childhood rises to his nose. No matter how many times he'd washed the slight scent of the frankincense from the Easter ceremony in Aksum's Eon when he was 10 years old, and the local brew he had with mascot Garasu in Walaita Soto remain with him. He will never get rid of his beard. Why should I, he thought. Because people despise it? Never mind. How many people despise the Son of God, let alone my beard? Aristotle said,
Nature does abhor a vacuum.
as the face is part of nature, it abhors emptiness and hence the beard. Is beard just a facial hair? No, it's more than that. Human beings have the tendency to put everything into a mixer and churn an exemplary value out of it. A beard, just like an art, is a mask. Through a process, it enables to remove the visible cover and reveal the invisible content inside. Through words, art has the ability to reveal the truth of one's heart, including words that might have been long forgotten or distorted to give a meaning the deceitful want to convey. About 3 or 4 months ago, a terrible itch on the face woke Sebhat up. He scratched his beard, which was still itching. Then he got out of bed to avoid waking Thanos up. He continued massaging and scratching his beard for about a quarter of an hour and went to shake it on a mirror. What he saw in the reflection shocked him out of his wits. His beard looked red and felt hot to the touch. "What is happening to me?" he asked out loud. Apart from the color and the heat, his beard was gently swaying like deaf plants do in a gentle wind, or seaweed move through waves. He still didn't want to wake Thanos, because she might do something, like scream out, "Ooh!" Thank you for listening. Please read the discussion points under the description of this story. We would like to hear your views and any comments you may have. If you'd like to listen to more stories as soon as they come out, please subscribe to this podcast. I would also appreciate it if you click on the like button and share with family and friends so we get more listeners. Until the next story, goodbye.